I appreciate you hitting that play button. This episode of Inside Abode was recorded a while back, but the conversation still holds up. There's some ideas and takeaways in here that are just as relevant today, I think. So it's nice to kind of go back and resurface conversations from the past. Enjoy. All right, welcome to Inside Abode. I'm your host, Dave Jones. Appreciate you tuning in. We have a special guest today. But before I get into that, I want to invite you to just subscribe to the podcast. We're trying to drop a little bit more content, while everyone's in quarantine and kind of in a reflective state. We want to make sure that we're providing you as much content as possible. Just tune in. We have real estate content. We have human element content. We have stories. So try to give you a little bit of everything. Today, I have a guest with me. So I want to just let you introduce yourself. Tell us about yourself.
Well, my name is Levon Williams. I'm originally from Brooklyn, Crown Heights to be specific. Born and raised from Brooklyn, dear to my heart. Moved out to the Northwest about 5 years ago with my wife. Been living in Tacoma ever since. A little bit about me. I grew up playing athletics. I played football my whole life. Went to Fordham University on a scholarship. Had that awesome opportunity. Thought I wanted to play sports forever, but I realized I don't want to bang my head to make a living. So I just got it.
I feel you.
I decided it was more things in life to explore. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. I'm in Tacoma now, and yeah.
Okay, so when you were coming up in Crown Heights, like that's where you went to elementary school, and you grew up completely there?
I didn't go to school in Crown Heights. I went to school in Bedford-Stuyvesant.
Okay.
For public school and middle school. It was like a bus ride away. It's not too far from Crown Heights.
Okay.
But I grew up specifically in Crown Heights, like on my day-to-day. That's where my grandparents were, my mom and dad met. Like that's where all my family is at in Crown Heights.
That's dope, man. So like when you came over here, so you said that was 5 years ago, like I don't know. For me, if I'm listening to someone from Brooklyn or anywhere like that, I'm intrigued because I love New York and I love just the East Coast in general. But what was the biggest difference when you moved over to the West Coast, and what made you pick Tacoma of all places?
To be honest with you, I thought I was gonna live in Seattle. I thought I was gonna live in Seattle. Then I saw that rent price and that mortgage, and I was like, I don't think I could pull that off. But so I visited twice to Seattle when I was an undergraduate, and I didn't hear about Tacoma, and then I left like right before like graduation, literally, and I'm like, people was telling me, if you plan on moving to Seattle or the Northwest, you should look into Tacoma.
Okay.
I always knew I wanted to, change it up a little bit. I was kind of tired of New York City and Brooklyn, just the energy, the people. It's just like really a fast rat race. And I was just kind of, I don't know if I want my life to be like that.
So,
ultimately, I decided to pick up and, explore sports. I was traveling in different states. Luckily, I had that exposure and I was just curious, like, where could I go? Where could I be at my next spot? Where could my next home be? And long and behold, it was Tacoma. A lot of people are still like, where the hell is Tacoma? What?
That's crazy. That's dope, though. Well, man, we're a better place for having you here for sure. Like, what's the biggest difference, like, in the people, or just, like you said, it was fast over there. Is it a little bit slower here? Like, what's the biggest difference that you like about being over here on the West Coast?
I love the change of pace, to be honest with you. You have the chance to just like really chill and relax and do things where you're not feeling like you're forced or rushed.
Right.
A lot of people, for me, when I met them out here, it wasn't like, let's go to this spot, let's do this. It's more like it happens organically. It's at a decent pace.
Right.
People aren't, to be real with you, New Yorkers, we just really in your face and like tell you about it is like, we don't really give a fuck. It's just like,
yeah.
That's how it is, in a respectful way too. So the people here have just been, welcoming, and it's been an easy adjustment, to say the least.
That's dope, man. And we met like at Foss. So like when I was working at Foss, you were there as well. And so that's the connection for anybody wondering. I didn't just pick someone randomly from Brooklyn, but we were just talking, and then it's like, man, I want you to be on the podcast because A, you have an interesting story. And B, I think it's fascinating to get the perspective of someone who has not lived here their entire life and actually came from somewhere like Brooklyn, to come and live in Tacoma. And so you guys have you recently purchased a house, and that's what I want to talk about today is like just purchasing a home in Tacoma from a buyer's perspective and from someone who didn't use us. So I want to make sure that clarification is in there. You did not go through us for the service, and we're not going to necessarily talk about the service, but like I want to kind of get in the mindset of like what you were looking for as someone who had not grown up here.
Yeah.
It's just interesting to me.
I just wanted a place where I could lay some roots down, to be real with you. Like the market in New York City is ridiculous. Who could afford
Right.
a 1.1 brownstone? Not me.
Right. Yeah, we were just talking about Brooklyn Heights.
It's crazy expensive. So I ultimately knew I wanted to build some wealth. No one in my family owned anything. My mom is still living in an apartment I grew up in. It's a beautiful neighborhood. It's a beautiful building. I knew I wanted something where I can call my own. I wanted to build wealth. That really got behind the driving force for me to get this house for my wife. And I like Tacoma, to be real. Like I seen a landscape years ago before gentrification. I was like,
Yeah.
Tacoma's going to be the next spot. I seen a bunch of empty lots and, houses and businesses investing in here. And I was like, this is the place to be. I'd rather be here in Seattle,
Absolutely.
It feels different in Seattle.
Yeah, it definitely is. We've always had our own. I feel like people from Tacoma are really proud about being from Tacoma. And if there's anything we want to pass on to people that are moving in here, it's that, like how much pride we take. And we typically, or actually before, I mean, I saw us as a blue collar town and still do to a certain extent. It's changing though. I mean, it definitely is changing, but like, that's interesting that you chose Tacoma. And really, I just think I think we're honored that, like we want people like you and your wife living here. And then when you guys are going through that process, like, oh wait, I know a question I was going to ask you. So are you a first generation homeowner then?
Yeah. First gen.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah. That's a really big deal. Are you first gen college too?
Yeah. First gen college graduate student, all of the above. Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
Grown up.
I didn't know that going into this conversation. That's big, man.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like all of those things matter to me. Like when you buy a house, it's never gonna go to zero, even if a recession hits. So I was like, I want to snag me up something, and
right,
it made sense. It just happened. It just worked out like that.
That's crazy, man. So when you and your wife are married, and do you guys have any kids?
No, we don't have any kids at the moment.
Okay. So when you were doing your house search, what were the top items that you were looking for in that?
It was a long list.
I know it was because you're an analytical dude.
We wanted obviously we wanted a place that, had a lot of natural light, was in a good neighborhood. We wanted a craftsman, we got it. We wanted something that has space in a backyard space, some greenery, close to a neighborhood where people and folks that look like us. So we live in the Lincoln district, nice. Right by 38th Street and Lincoln High School.
I love that area.
It's a really dope neighborhood. It was honestly, the numbers had to be right. It had to make sense. And I knew that the lot had to be, it had to have a space where it was like a big garage that could be converted to like a dwelling unit. So that was something we was already imagining as well. But
okay,
just the neighborhood, the location, that's the big thing. We're literally a hill up from downtown Tacoma, right by the link rail that's going to be expanding there soon.
Yeah,
it's super convenient. The location is great. The people, the food, those are some of the contributing factors that kind of played into like why we purchased in Lincoln and what
Yeah,
we were
for sure.
looking for. Yeah.
For sure, man. And the crazy part is, man, is like around that, like I think the Starbucks went in a year ago or year and a half ago, 2 years now. Dang, it's been a while. But when I saw that Starbucks going in the Lincoln district, I was like, oh man. I remember seeing that because there had never been a Starbucks over there. You know, like that wasn't even, it was more of a neighborhood feel. And once you see Starbucks going somewhere, you know, they don't just plop Starbucks in for no reason places. So I think we all see the same thing that's going on over there, which is, you know, it's becoming a popular spot to land for a lot of people. And I mean, you're a perfect example of that. But I really love the energy that is coming out of the Lincoln district right now. It's really dope. So like, those are all the things that you guys were looking for. If you could do that like whole situation over again, that buying process over again, would you do anything differently? Or like, did you get all the things that you were looking for, checking off the box as a first time home buyer?
First of all, go through you guys.
I mean,
um,
that's
no, I think I wanted a multifamily, right? We would definitely try to buy a multifamily
okay.
or a fourplex. I think that's the one thing I would do over, but we didn't know, you know, like how the market would turn out. And some of them were kind of out of our price ranges. So
Right.
if I could do it all over again, I would look to like diversify the situation, like either a duplex, multifamily,
Yep.
fourplex, fiveplex, purchase something like that.
Yeah. And that's how you think though. You're always thinking in terms of, you know, how can I maximize this situation, you know? And I think that you guys ended up in a great spot though. I mean, I really like the house you guys ended up purchasing and buying. And or did you do anything to it what's the first thing you guys did when you moved in?
What did we do? I ripped up the carpet. I resanded the hardwood floors. Mind you, I never did this shit in my life. I didn't know what I was doing. So now we have hardwood throughout the entire house, which is like a plus. I
Nice.
really like that. That's the only really big project that I've done since I've been here. And besides that, a little landscaping in the front, in the back,
Yeah.
you know, fixing up the garden and stuff like that. But we really haven't done any major shit to the house yet.
Hey, that's major though. I mean, you know, like getting up. I mean, that was the first thing we did here in the house that I'm in right now. You know, is like rip up the carpet, and we saw that there are hardwoods under there. We're like, yo, there's hardwoods throughout under this carpet. Like, did the same exact thing. So that's a big undertaking for sure.
Yeah, we do have a furnace that we want to get rid of, but you know, old oil furnaces and
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Those old houses. But man, it's a cute place though, man. Nice little craftsmen over there. That's the funny thing about that area is there's craftsmen over there. There's nice craftsmen's over there as well. Similar to North Tacoma. You know what I mean? Same style of homes. And I love the homes over there. Another question. So like for those who are listening and they're looking at different areas of Tacoma, why should they choose where you're living? And what's your favorite restaurant around there? Or if you have one. I don't know if you have one or not.
Yeah. So I love I think Lincoln District allowed me to see Tacoma differently, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay. Tell me more about that. I'm interested to hear.
Yeah, I used to live in the North End, and no disrespect to the listeners out there from the North End who have property over there, but I felt like I went to the same grocery store. I did the same things. I went to the same bars, same restaurants in the North End, and I get a chance to like be closer to South Tacoma
Yeah.
and like closer to the highways, closer to downtown, and really explore Tacoma, closer to Lakewood, and you know,
Yeah.
that really just opened up my eyes to Tacoma. To be real with you, I didn't know that much about like Lakewood or like the South End and like little
Right.
shops. So this was really like helpful for me to like, you know, feel like I'm part of a community, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
That's, you know, that really was the pillar. And if you're looking for a place to buy, Lincoln District is the location. You know, there's a lot of new businesses popping up.
Mm-hmm.
Really affordable in comparison to like the North End. And obviously the market is changing right now, but I
Yeah.
think it's a dope place to like raise a family. If you're a first time homeowner, if you want to, be in a place that's diverse, you get a chance to see a lot of diversity within the community.
Yeah, man. That's dope, man. I'm just really happy that you guys landed, man, for real. Like it makes me happy to see and first gen college grad, first gen homeowner. That's a big deal, man. Like what you're doing right now, you're changing the trajectory of your family name, man. And that's big. You changed it just by moving over here.
Yeah.
I mean, for real, that's crazy. And so, um, last question I have. I already did. I did. Did I ask about the restaurant? Do you have a favorite restaurant over there?
Yeah, I do. There's this spot called Peanut Sauce. It's
Oh,
by the mall. It's a Thai restaurant. It's really good.
okay. I haven't been there.
You should check it out. It's really close to the mall. And also another favorite spot of mine is Marizano's. Is by POU. It's an Italian restaurant. I really love Italian food. Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You get a lot of Italian food, so I recommend that spot too. Those are my top two favorite spots.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't been to. I mean, I've been to Marzano's, but I haven't been to Peanut Sauce. I'm gonna check that out. I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, definitely check it
Well,
out. You can enjoy it.
Post this. So what have you guys been doing to kind of keep things light in light of all this?
Yeah. Just adjusting to the new norm. It's hard. I'm about to go buy a bike tomorrow, so
For real.
to get out.
Yeah.
But we try to separate ourselves. My wife, she works upstairs and I work here downstairs. We try to go for walks
Yeah.
to keep ourselves just, our brain fresh and active. But other than that, we cook a lot. And just making sure we give ourselves a regimen, a schedule. Like I don't wake up and wear sweats every day.
Right.
I try not to because you just get in the habit. Actually, I shaved my beard in the past. I haven't shaved in the past 2 months. So I was
Oh wow. I bet it was thick.
yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, he noticed me. But just keeping a little regiment, trying to keep things fresh and fun.
Yeah.
But it's definitely getting to us this last week is, what can you do to keep yourself active?
Yeah. It's been tough for me too. Like just in these last couple of weeks, or actually just the last week, I really just hit a wall from an inspiration standpoint. But what like we have great people at our office and just seeing their faces and yeah, man, I got picked back up and got a little kick in the butt from someone from my guy, Jay Fletch. He was on the last podcast and he was like, "Hey man, when's my podcast drop?" And I was just like, "Oh man, like I've just been all over the place." And so I needed that, you know what I mean? I needed him to check in and really, really get to me. And then I talked to you and, and even just talking to you helped me. Like I'm telling you all this stuff and really all I'm doing is that's my own self-talk to talk myself up. You know what I mean? So it helped me too. So
Yeah.
that's important, man. So if just to leave on this note, what advice would you give to someone who is, I mean, you've kind of given a lot of advice to people who are buying in Tacoma, but what advice would you give, if you could give them like one piece of advice or however many you want, but like one specific piece of advice, what would you tell them?
I think every person is for someone looking to buy a house, like your situation is unique and different than everyone else. Don't kind of get caught up in what other people own or what they
Yeah.
have. Um, just enjoy the process and do a lot of research on your own too, as well with your agent and broker,
Right.
and lender. But really enjoy the neighborhood opposed to just buying because of what you hear from other folks.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really essential when you're looking to buy a home because you can get caught up in that rhetoric. You got people telling you, no, this side of Sixth Avenue is, like
Yeah.
it's like all of that rhetoric and negative remarks and stigmas. Neighborhoods are changing. I
Right.
think the south side of Tacoma, just where I'm at, East Side, these are all thriving neighborhoods.
Yep.
People live there. They love their community. They've
Yep.
been in business there for long times and decades. So it's just like, just do your research and your homework and keep it authentic and official.
Man, that's the best advice you could give, because I agree with the whole negative stigma, and that's kind of like the downside to people buying from here and or people being realtors from here. I'm gonna keep it all the way real. Like,
Mm,
people that are realtors who have grown up here hold their own biases as well,
yeah.
with other areas, and so that's what we're trying to make sure that we don't do, because all of Tacoma is dope. All of Tacoma is livable. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It may not be for everybody, but like you said, there's families who've been living here for generations, multiple generations of families who love the community and put in work in the community. You know, so I think that that's important. So you just hit the nail on the head, sir. And I did not feed him that line, ladies and gentlemen. I promise you, I did not feed him that. Um, hey man, if people want to find you, where do they find you online?
Uh, Hit me up on Instagram. It's Leroy Tings at Instagram.com. And also I'm going to put up some content um, through my email at l.elijahwan@gmail.com. If you want to send me any emails or links in chat and let's talk about like any artistry stuff, I'm definitely open to
Dope, dope. What does Leroy Tings mean? I always meant to ask you that.
that. Yo, so that's my dad's name is Leroy, right?
Okay.
And I'm half Caribbean, half Jamaican.
Dope.
So Tings is a drink. It's just like Caribbean drink, and you eat it with your Caribbean food. So I always, pay homage to my dad and also my Caribbean side. It's kind of funny. I like it like that, but
Yeah,
that's how I decided that name on
that's
Instagram.
fire. I like that. That's fire. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on and really taking the time on a Sunday morning. Like, you didn't have to wake up and do this, but I really appreciate you coming on and telling us your perspective about, where you're from. We'll have you on again at some point in time, and just you probably be able to talk a little bit more on it. So, appreciate you coming on, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Likewise.
Yes, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps it up. So again, make sure you subscribe, hit that subscribe button. Podcast. We're on Stitcher, Spotify, Apple. We're everywhere. So anywhere you can stream podcasts, hit that subscribe button. And who knows, maybe you'll be on here next. All right, peace.
All right, peace.